Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome along to the wilds of Suffolk. I'm out here yet again doing what I do, walking along in beautiful locations such as this, and giving you my thoughts and opinions on things that are happening in the world, the public consciousness. If it's your first time here, welcome. This is what I do. I hope you enjoy. If you're a returning subscriber, all 930 of you it is today, I think, welcome back. It's amazing so many people join me for these walks, and so thank you one and all for being here. So it looks like I'm psychotic. 3 weeks ago I did a video called False Flag Imminent, if you haven't seen it, where I said before the end of February we're going to see an event, whatever that's going to be, maybe a war, maybe a cyber attack, maybe something like that. And here we are today on the 24th of February, 24th, before the end of Feb, and there's a war. Amazing. So the war apparently has begun. Okay, now what does that mean? What happens next? What do we do? All these questions are coming from people that are around me, so I thought I'd best do a video today, give you my thoughts and opinion, my thoughts, okay? Remember that, I'm not telling you the truth, I'm telling you what I think, and you have to decide what you think is true. If you want to believe the mainstream media, then go ahead and believe them, you know? Go ahead and believe the mainstream media that told you all about weapons of mass destruction, or that, that Prince Andrew did nothing wrong, and he just paid out a bunch of money to someone he's never even met. Same mainstream media. Same mainstream media that didn't tell you, like the BBC here in the UK, the same mainstream media that didn't tell you about a paedophile necrophiliac in their ranks, a man called Jimmy Savile, who was knighted, who still hasn't had his knighthood rescinded, by the way, by the royal family. Okay, the same royal family that's protected a paedophile, namely Prince Andrew. You know, that media there is telling you the truth. Okay, let's start there. So, what happens next? All right, so what's this all about? Let's start there. Let's start there. What's this all about? What's this war about? Now, why Ukraine? Let's go back just a little bit to when Uncle Joe, Poopy Pants Biden, when he was vice president under the most corrupt piece of dirt in the world, namely Obama. When he was vice president under Obama, he went to Ukraine, and there was a prosecutor who was investigating a company called Burisma Holdings. Burisma, a Ukrainian oil energy company. Now, what's special about Burisma? Okay, for those of you who don't know, Burisma has a gentleman on the board of the company called Hunter Biden. Joe Biden's son is on the board of a Ukrainian oil and energy company. Okay? Who else is on the board? A guy called Devon Archer, who is who? John Kerry's son. Ooh, a Ukrainian oil and energy company. Okay? Who else have we got over there? Nancy Pelosi's son, Paul Pelosi, I think it is also involved in Ukrainian oil and energy. So why is Ukraine having problems with Russia? The more you know. But let's keep going. Let's keep going, because we're not done yet by a long stretch of the imagination. So we've got all these American politicians whose children are involved in Ukrainian oil. Okay? There's Ukraine, Kazakhstan. Remember I did a video about Kazakhstan, Kazaria, Kazakhstan, and said that's the base of the operations. Ukraine is also a useful place for washing money before it goes into foundations. And I don't know whether you know or not, but Ukraine was the largest donor to Hillary Clinton's campaign in 2016. Strange? Strange. Largest donor. If we're talking about largest donors and all these sort of corrupt people that are involved in these criminal things that are going on, Perkins Coie law firm. Perkins Coie, remember that name, Perkins Coie. I've spoken about them before. Perkins Coie. Okay, Perkins Coie was the firm that Hillary Clinton paid for the Russian collusion dossier. Perkins Coie, okay. Perkins Coie is also the same law firm that's involved in in creating the XRP Ripple lawsuit. Same law firm, Perkins Coie. Okay, just as a side note on that, just as on the side note, so just so we keep that in the mix. Okay, so back when Biden was vice president, there was a investigator in Ukraine. I can't remember the name of the investigator's name at this stage. I do apologise, but anybody who's following this story knows the name. There was a prosecutor who was investigating Burisma Holdings when Joe Biden was vice president, and the US had promised $1 billion to help Ukraine. Now, Joe Biden went to Ukraine. This is quid pro quo Joe, after they accused Trump of being doing quid pro quo with the Ukrainian Prime Minister or President or whatever you call him. But quid pro quo Joe went to Ukraine and said, if you don't stop the investigation into this company, you won't get the $1 billion. And son of a bitch, they dropped the investigation. Anybody seen that video? I might even pin it in the comment section down below just so you can have a look, okay? So back then, Joe says, we're not going to give you the $1 billion if you don't stop investigating this company that my son's involved in. Oh, but Trump's bad. So why Ukraine? Now, when I did that video 3 weeks ago, the false flag imminent video, talking about war or cyber attacks or whatever, what they were going to do, this is the first stage. I want you to understand this is what's happening today. The Russians rolling into Ukraine. It's an invasion. Okay, it's bullshit. But this is the first stage. Okay, now this is what I want to get to. What happens next? We get the jumping off point that I picked before the end of February. So psychotic, yeah. And yes, I know the difference between psychotic and psychic. Before you go and say something, oh my God, I tell you, anyway, what's going to happen next? All right, so I'm going to tell you what I think is going to happen next based on the way I see things playing out. Okay, the reason I'm doing this video is so you don't panic. Okay, I'm not panicked. I'm standing in the sunshine. Oh, I'm standing in the sunshine, knowing what is coming because I'm prepared. I have fuel in my car. I have some cash at home. I have some food. I have a bit of water. I'm prepared. I hope you are. And if you've been watching my channel for any period of time, I'm sure you are. Because we can see the events that are unfolding right in front of us. Most people can't. Okay? So if you think this video is going to help people, then share it, please. It's up to you. I don't mind. Not I have no control over you whatsoever. It's your choice to do whatever you're going to do in this world, as it should be. So what happens next? All right. So first of all, this is happening. Now, financial markets don't like wars. Okay? What usually happens in financial markets, well, look, this is all about the collapse of the economy. Okay? That's what it's all about. This is triggering the inevitable collapse. Okay, so what they're going to try and do is blame it on the war, or blame it on the virus. They lost the virus. That went out the window. They were hoping to use the virus for the financial collapse, but it didn't come off that way. But they did ruin a lot of people with shutting down people's businesses and what have you. So it was a prelim to what's happening now. So financial markets don't like war. So what we're going to see is the markets start to slide. Okay. Then, as people start to get a bit more panicked about what's happening, they're going to hit the shops and buy food and fuel, get cash, and then when the money starts to slide, people are going to try and get cash. And then there's, like I mentioned in my last video, I don't want to see this happen. I'm not asking it to happen. I'm not trying to trigger it. But if enough people try and get cash out at the same time, the banks will close. It's called a bank run, okay? It's happened before where people get spooked and everyone tries to get the cash out of the bank. The banks don't hold that much cash. They don't hold any. If you want to get a big chunk of money out of the bank, say 10 grand or something like that, you have to book it days in advance because they don't hold that kind of cash. They don't. So if you get a lot of people that get spooked in the markets because war, then you have an opportunity. It opens up an opportunity for a bank run. Okay. Now, what we see in the markets today, we see cryptos are down. Why would the cryptos be down, do you think? But gold and silver are up. Now, if you control these markets, if people want to get out of their fiat positions, their money, cash, whatever you want to call it, it's not really money. But if people want to get out of that, where are they going to go? There's only a few different places: gold, silver, crypto. So if you control the crypto market, bring the price of crypto down, keep people in cash. But anybody who's really thinking, you don't go and buy a TV when a TV is at full price. You buy a TV when it's on sale, right? Like people have been buying gold and silver for the past few years on sale because the price has been down. So same thing with crypto. If the prices go down, it's a buying opportunity. Afternoon, how are we doing? Yeah, buying opportunity. Crypto's when the price goes down. Same with gold and silver. Afternoon, chaps. Doing a report on events happening today. Have a great afternoon. So, we're going to see turmoil in the financial markets. Turmoil in the financial markets. We're going to see things like gold and silver go up. If you're holding it, great. Keep holding it, okay? If you're not, well, there's still time. I can't tell you what to do. I'm not a financial advisor. Of course, I'm certainly not your financial advisor. And if I was a financial advisor, I'd probably be in a better financial position than I am right now. Now, just to change tack a little, I mentioned in my last video that my wife is in care industry, in aged care in particular. So she takes care of elderly people, the most vulnerable in society. The most vulnerable, okay? No one passed in her care during the scamdemic. No one. And they're all had their magic juice, okay? Everyone's juiced up. There was a lot of discussion about masks and the legality of what the government has put in place. And I could go deeply into that. I've done plenty of videos about it, about the Nuremberg Code, and we've been fighting this from day one. Now, in that industry in particular, the care industry, there's been a lot of people fired from their positions. My wife has managed to stay in the fight, but it came to a head when she was asked to go to a disciplinary. And anybody who's been here for 5 minutes or more knows that I don't back down on anything. And I couldn't instruct my wife to do anything. It's her life and it's her choice to do what she wanted to do. I can't tell her what to do. So she got a response from her employer saying they weren't going to take any action because they couldn't, because everything that was done was illegal, and that she had a job and everything was good. Right now, and the mandates don't apply to her anymore in particular. Okay, so that in any ordinary circumstance, that would be good enough for people to go, oh, thank you so much, I keep my job and everything, just move on. That's not the way that we work, and it's certainly not the way that my wife works, because she's a brute. So she responded in the best way possible by saying thank you and hello, puppy. Afternoon, how are we doing?
Thank you.
Yeah, wonderful, thank you. Responded in the best way possible with, I appreciate the fact that you've been through this. Hello, how are we doing? And appreciate that we've been through this, and thank you for the job. And a big fuck you at the end. she unleashed holy hell with all the, here's what you've done wrong, here's what the government's done wrong, this is illegal, this is illegal, this is illegal, thank you very much. I absolutely adored the response. So the point I'm trying to get here is, for this little sidetrack, is that we haven't backed down. Not one bit. Oh, but I have to do this just to keep my job. No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't have to do anything, okay? And if you're being forced into something, then that's illegal. Okay, so hold the line. Don't back down. Don't give in. If enough of us stand up and say, no, we're not doing it, fuck off, what are they going to do? Are they going to sack everybody in your job? Are they going to fire everybody from all these positions? Who's going to run businesses? Who's going to work in them? We have more power than what we realize, okay? Now, back on track. So financial markets are going to react, okay? Now, then what's going to happen is we're going to get to a point where the financial system that we know and love, well, we don't know and love it, but you know what I mean, is going to start to slide. And then what's going to happen is they're going to say, we're going to have a crash of biblical proportions. Maybe the banks are going to go down, and they're going to claim that Russia hacked the banks, and that's why you haven't got money available. Okay? It is all about getting out. Oh, wind's up again today. This is all about hiding the financial collapse behind another event. I've been talking about this for years. You cannot print the amount of money that they've printed and put into the system without dire consequences. Now, that's called the law of unintended consequences. So while you think you're doing one thing, invariably, it always leads to something that you never anticipated. So, you know, if you look at all the stuff that I've looked at over the years about the financial markets and about the whole fraud of money, the cash, the fiat money, it's fraud. It's based on nothing. It really is. It's based on, Jesus, wind's crazy. I hope you can hear me. But the whole fraud of the financial markets, they're all manipulated to hell. It's all fake. It's all fraud. The money, the cash that you have in your wallet is fraud. It's based on nothing. They print it, and the only reason it has any value is because they say, well, this is worth what's printed on the bill. It's not worth anything. It's worth nothing. And the only reason that it's worth what they say it's worth is the confidence that we have in it. What happens when people lose confidence in their money? How do you restore that confidence? How do you restore the confidence in money, or the fiat money? It has to be backed by something, like it used to be, gold maybe. Why have all the central banks of the whole world been buying gold? It's what was it, Bernanke, I think it was, who said, gold is a barbarous relic. But the central banks all buy it. The barbarous relic. Yeah, and then they tell you it's worthless. It's not worth anything. All right. So, I've said in many, many videos, you need to be prepared for what is coming. And I'm not just talking about water, food, and gold and all that kind of jazz. That's one thing. Mental and physical preparation is above and beyond anything else. If you're prone to panic attacks, or if you're prone to anxiety or things, rest assured that what is happening is necessary. Okay, now what do I mean by that? What we've seen over the last 5 years definitely, is the exposure of the corruption within the systems that we know that we've been living with our whole lives. And I'll explain what I mean by that. So the media have lied constantly about everything. Russian collusion, weapons of mass destruction, you name it. I could go on all day long and point out the media lies. All day long. Because they're liars. They're propaganda scumbags. Okay, so if we know that the media is lying, that's been proven for the last 5 years. Every time they put out a story, then what happens? Invariably it comes back, oh no, it came from a bat in a wet market. They didn't sell bats. It didn't come from the lab just up the street. Just remember that. Oh, but now the British government's admitted that it did come from a lab. Well, that's the most likely scenario, they say. Oh, bullshit! I said that 2 years ago. I was actually thrown off Facebook for 30 days for saying that. And now they admit it. So the media have proved themselves to be liars. So the exposure of the media. Politicians, well, we all know they're liars, but now it's exposure after exposure after exposure after exposure. Politicians, lying, filth, all of them. I don't care if, oh, it's my party, they're nice people. No, they're not. They're scum. All of them. Scum. Anybody that goes into politics has a political science degree. I'm sorry. Scumbag. Oh, but I'm going in for all the right reasons. Yeah, what happens then? The system corrupts you. It's the way it is. So the media have proven themselves to be liars. The politicians always have been. What else? The medical system have lied to us. I've said before, since 2010, they've known about zinc ionophores. Zinc, vitamin C, vitamin D. Okay. They've known about that since 2010. What was the treatment for this pandemic? What was the treatment? What was the early treatment that they used? Stay home for 14 days. That was the treatment. And any discussion of anything other than what they said was banned. Oh, you're an anti-vaxxer, you anti-science, you piece of shit, you're a COVIDiot. Okay? I don't know if you were called those kind of names. I was. I have been for 2 years. Sticks and stones, baby. Sticks and stones. Throw it at me. Give me your best shot. If that's all you got, if that's the best you've got, call me a conspiracy theorist. Conspiracy theorists have been right 100% of the time. Go back and look at all my videos. 100% of the time. We still haven't heard about Michael Obama yet, but we will. It's coming. Now, this is going to get intense. Okay, this is the start. This is the beginning of it. Okay, this is going to flow into another, into another, into another. So this will lead to financial markets going down, which will lead to a hack. They're going to call it a hack, but it's not going to be a hack where the banks go down. Then we're going to see internet. The internet is going to go down. That's the Russian hackers, of course. And then we're going to see, what else? Electricity, possibly. You know, this is the beginning. This is the beginning. Now, if we have a look over in Canada, Trudeau over in Canada, you know, this guy, they set up the Emergency Powers Act. They had some thugs go out and beat on protesters. Thugs go out and beat on protesters and tow away their trucks, and they're threatening to sell them to fund BLM. I mean, what the fuck? Anyway, yeah, and they put in on the Monday, they voted in the emergency powers, and on Wednesday, Trudeau comes out and says, oh, we're revoking the emergency powers because everyone went to the bank and tried to get their money out. Dictator. And then and then Trudeau had the gall to come out and call Putin a dictator. It's astounding. It's astounding the level of hypocrisy that exists in these people. I mean, they have no shame. Zero. No shame lying to your face. And we know that they're lying, and they know that we know that they're lying. And they're still doing it. Because what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do? We run the country, we run the military. What are you going to do? So what are you going to do? You're going to go down and do some violence because that's what they want you to do. They want you to be violent with yourself, with each other, and with them, because then they can point to you and say, look at these people, I told you they were terrorists. We told you they were bad people. So what do we have to do? Say no, no, no. These politicians are ready, okay? They're ready to go and sacrifice your children in another war while they sit back and reap the benefits of all the investments that they made in the companies that are going to benefit from the war. Just like they did with all the PPE, Matt Hancock. Just what they did with the PPE. All the people within government were working with the PPE companies or invested in the PPE companies. But look around the world at all the people in the government who are invested in the jabby companies. Bill Gates, Dr. Bill Gates. Yeah, Dr. Bill Gates. He's heavily invested in these companies. Dr. Bill Gates. Obviously we should listen to every word that he says because obviously he's very well educated. Doctorate. Oh, sorry, no, he doesn't have any education. No university degree at all. Oh, no, I do apologize. No, he does have an honorary degree for his work for humanity. So, what this is doing, what's happening now is exposing all the corrupt systems that we have. All of them. All the corrupt people in the positions who voted for the emergency lockdown powers in Canada. All those people, scumbags, owned by the WEF, World Economic Forum, and Klaus Schwab. They're owned. Here in the UK, around the world, Dan Andrews, Scott Morrison in Australia, Jacinta Ardern or Jack Ardern, that guy with the penis. It's not a woman, by the way. You know, world leaders around the world owned by the World Economic Forum and China and, you know, the people that are running the whole show. So we are going to see a collapse of these things, the exposure of these things. As more information starts to come out that exposes these people, we're going to see more things break down. Hacks, cyber attacks. We're going to see these kind of things happen more and more often as the media starts to have to report on things that they don't want to. That's when things are going to go down, because they need to keep the narrative, they need to keep you stupid, and they need to keep you fearful. Now you know. So if you know in advance, do you need to fear it? Smile and wave, boys, just smile and wave. So don't get caught up in it, don't believe the hype, don't believe the bullshit. It's all a narrative to hide the financial collapse. It's coming up to a tractor here. Anyway, that's enough for today. The war is on, as it has been for a long, long time, but now it's out in the open. Be prepared, watch what happens, prepare yourself. Now, go out into the world, do good, be good. You can change the world with the way that you act, the way that you talk, the way that you think, and the way that you interact with people. Share information that you think is going to help people, and try and help people through these tough times, because it is going to be really, really difficult for people who have no idea what's going on. So help out where you can, share information where you can, and let's all move on together, because the exposure of these corrupt, filthy systems is happening as we speak. Watch close. Love you all. All right, look after yourself, look after each other. Look forward to seeing you real soon. Take care. Ciao for now.